I didn't know what my heart was in for till you stepped into the room. And I didn't show, but I wanted to know everything I could about you. See, I was told the dreams were made to be believed in, so I put every single dream in you. But you set the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. 'Cause for some odd reason I'm done believing in this one thing I adore. What is loving anymore?
Hey everyone, I wanted to first say thank you so much for all the prayers that were poured out for me for my pregnancy, for my birth. There's nothing like knowing you have an army of just people out there praying for you and just sending these good just these good vibes, these good intentions your way, and just reminding. I don't know. It's very powerful, and I really, really appreciate it. The birth, in hindsight, it couldn't have gone better. It could have gone better because I could have recorded it, and it's just so unpredictable that we miss so much of actually filming it, which is unfortunate. But I wanted to kind of share like how the birth went and a little bit of his birth story. So I'll just kind of start up here. This is my room. This is where I did a majority of my labor. There's my little man. And so, as most of you know, or those who follow me, I went to my midwife. We had midwife on the beach appointment on Tuesday, and I just told my midwife, like, I'm ready. I was like 4 or 5 days past my due date. He was due July 2nd, and I was like, I'm going to induce myself tomorrow. This is with my 7th baby, and I told my midwife what I usually do it with. I do it with a mixture of black and blue cohosh and Don Quai. And I've done it before, and it's just been really, really awesome for me. I'll do it the night before. I'll take a little bit of a tincture, and then I'll take it in the middle of the night when I wake up to go to the bathroom. And then in the morning, I start labor. It's just worked like that for me with the 2 other times I've tried it. And so my midwife said, yes, he's in a great position. I think this is good. Go for it. And that's exactly what I did. And so it was a little bit different than usual because my friend had the black and blue cohosh for me. So I went over to her house to pick it up. But she had it in this pill format right here. And so I didn't know how that was going to be because I've always taken the tincture before. So that's the tincture right here. And so I wasn't sure about the dosage or what to do. So I took 2 of these, and 1 of these at night, and then my intention was to take it again in the morning or in the middle of the night when I had to go to the bathroom, and then I would be in labor in the morning. That's just how it's worked before. And why I like this to induce is it has none of the weird side effects like castor oil or anything where you have to go to the bathroom or you're in such pain. It's just literally like just begins these little contractions that pick up. So I really, really like that combination. I don't know if it works for everybody because my body has never, I did try castor oil in the past. It just really doesn't do anything for me. So what was funny is I took that at nighttime, got up in the middle of the night, took it. I stayed up all night like waiting for contractions to start, like excited, and nothing happened. And it was bad too because I didn't sleep well at all because I was just waiting and, thinking and turning and thinking, was that something? And really was a waste of time. But anyway, morning came. And I had no contractions, and I was really disappointed. My husband went across the street to take the kids swimming to their swimming practice for the swim team. And I was laying in bed, and I called my little daughter over, my 1-year-old, to nurse. Because she's been kind of somewhat nursing on and off. She was totally weaned and then started to come back a little bit more. And I've nursed her a few times while she's been sick just because she's the only one who's not unnerved to. I have trouble getting her to swallow it. So I'll nurse her. And so I nursed her. And as I was nursing her, these contractions started picking up in this bed right here. And you can see little Bodhi there. And so they really picked up. And then all of a sudden I heard this like little pop. and my water burst on my bed. And so I wanted to call my husband. He forgot his phone, but basically it was like that really exciting moment of like, oh my gosh, my water broke. I had friends texting me, did the induction work? And I was like, no, nothing happened. And then I texted them right back and said, actually my water broke, so something happened. But it was one of those things where it was 8:30 in the morning when the water broke, about 8:45 in the morning. And just to save you the math, he was born at 9:15 at night, but so like 13 hours later, but there was no contractions. It was nothing. So basically the whole day I was walking. I went for a 2-mile walk. I ran up and down the stairs so many times. I had gotten these, what is it called? Myers circuit. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name. Anyway, it's like this position thing where you're half an hour and like in a baby, like actually in exactly this position. You lie there like that for half an hour. This little bum. You lie like that for half an hour, and then you go on your side for another half an hour, and then you do something really active for half an hour, and that gets the baby in optimum position. So I did that like 2 times during the day, and I spent the whole day trying to get into labor. And my midwife told me try her castor oil recipe, so I tried that, and she said it doesn't give you any weird side effects. And if anyone wants to know what that is, it was like toast, and then you do a tablespoon of castor oil, a tablespoon of almond or peanut butter, and a tablespoon of honey, and it actually kind of tasted nice. Castor oil is terrible, but this actually tasted nice in the toast, and so I did 2 of those toasts like every hour, or 1 toast, and then waited an hour and took another toast with the same spread, and nothing, like I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. There was just like nothing in my body. And so I went to nurse my daughter again, and I started contracting. It was the weirdest thing. Like the only thing that can get me into labor was nursing my 1-year-old. And it was just really funny. So then they picked up to the point that I started to call my midwife, and I was like, okay, I think we're going. I think we're in business. We can do this. And I set my daughter aside, and then they just died. They just didn't pick up after a while. They kind of were very light and rhythmic, but not painful at all, for like maybe an hour and a half, and then it just like pittered off. So I called my midwife, and I went to, I asked her, like, should I try the tincture now? So I actually went about 5 o'clock to run to the natural food store to get this tincture right here, because that's what I normally take, and that usually just gets me going really, really well into labor. And so she said yes, and so I went there. And it was funny, when I went to the natural food store, I ran into someone from my husband's work, and he's like, aren't you supposed to be in labor? And I yelled at him, like, yeah, I will. You'll see. I just need something from this store. And he must be like, I don't know what she's buying from this store, but, he's probably really curious. But it was my tinctures. And I got some natural ice cream for Pauline's birthday, because Pauline was celebrating her 4th birthday. And actually, she's another awesome birth story, my favorite birth story. So losing my train of thought. So anyway, I come back home. We have a Whole Foods cake for my daughter. We have this ice cream. We have this little party at 6 o'clock at night. Nothing's happening. I'm not in labor. I take my tinctures. And a tincture is maybe like I would do a drop of this and a drop of the black cohosh, and that would be it. And then about 3 hours later, I would do it again, or maybe 2 hours later. And so we're there, and I don't remember. I guess I called my midwife. This is where I don't remember what exactly happened, but about 7 o'clock, my midwife was here. Her assistant was here, my friend Danny. My friend Rebecca was here to take pictures. And I just felt like a party pooper. I was like, sorry guys, I'm not in labor. Like, there's nothing going on. And it just felt miserable. Like they came to my house, and there's nothing's happening. And all our kids are there. That was different this time. We've never had our kids there for the birth, never. And it just happened, like we just decided to leave them there. So I'm standing there like a party pooper, and we're talking about what we should do. And I said, well, I talked about nursing my daughter. So I was like, I'll go upstairs and use the breast pump and see if anything happens. And I did the breast pump for about 20 minutes, and I was like, guys, nothing, it's not doing anything. And Renee, my midwife, was like, well, it's funny because like you can't replace a child, like you can't tease the body at all. And to get those contractions going, I actually needed my 1-year-old to do the nursing. And so we brought Romy up here and put Romy's the hero of this whole birth story. So I started nursing Romy in this bed probably like 8 o'clock at night. And I just laid on my left side and started nursing Romy, and immediately I got contraction, immediately. And they weren't like, I don't know if you're familiar with labor or if you remember, but there's like 3 stages, 3 very distinct stages. And in the beginning, it's just these mild contractions that you breathe through. And they just go and come, and you just have to like almost meditate during these ones. But with Romy, when she started nursing, I went immediately to like the 2nd stage labor, where you're doing like these involuntary noises, which now I recognize very much. So you're kind of going, how is it? It's like, it's almost like you're a Buddhist monk or something, and you're trying to like keep your mouth open and relax. And one thing I kept doing in that stage is like rattling my arm just to like take my mind off it, and or to like, because the whole idea is just for me is to relax as much as possible and surrender to the whatever it is the body's doing during that time, and not interfere or stop it. So you just kind of ride those waves, and then it's done, and then you wait for another one to pick up. And we just went right into that when we were nursing Romy. So after about, I kept her on long, like a good half hour, just to make sure they were staying. And then at one point I realized they were really staying, and actually nursing her was really bothering me. So my husband took her downstairs, and he's like managing all the kids, and the girls are downstairs, and then it just started to escalate. And so I'm in this bedroom, and I'm contracting on my own. I'm just kind of like walking around this room, and I really wish I had filmed it, and I didn't. And even like over here, like our bathroom's not finished, but I would like hang from that bar when I was having some of those contractions. And that, if anyone ever has a bar in their house to hang from, just to like release your body when you're contracting, it's actually, I really recommend it. It's really amazing. And then I would just like ride the contractions here, and Danny came up to check on me, and when checked, they're just like, we're not getting any physical exams or anything like that. It's really funny. Like, they really know where you are in labor based on how you sound and what you were doing. And it was funny. She rubbed my back really, really gently, like in this amazing doula type way. And I was like, oh man, that's amazing. My husband came up, and I was like, oh, Andrea, like do this next time, because that was so amazing. And he just touched my back, and I was like, no, we're past that. Like, I don't even want to be touched at this point now. Like, it was getting really intense. And then at 9:00, so this is like only an hour later, altogether. And at 9:00, everyone was downstairs. That's where I have the birthing pool. And Rebecca's down there. Rebecca's my photographer friend, so she was going to take pictures. And at 9:00, I came down, and I was in this zone where I knew it was like pushing time. Like they had gotten to the point where they were so strong, and I knew that like what was next, that this 3rd stage, this pushing stage, is coming next. And so I really wanted to be in my tub, but I was still afraid that the contractions would stop. I still didn't realize like I was in full labor. And yeah, so I go downstairs into the birthing tub room. I think my husband was in denial. He didn't think the baby was coming that night at all. And he's like putting the kids together, and I walk in the room and I shut off the light. Like immediately, you're just like in this zone of like you were in your own world. And in that moment, I wanted the lights off. The candles were on down there. I had my diffuser on down there. My ladies were down there. And the kids were in the back room watching a movie. And so I walk in, I just shut off the light, and I go right into the tub. And my midwife said, yeah. I was like, if they stop, I'll get out. And she said, yeah, we'll get you out if they stop. And immediately, as soon as I hit that warm tub, your body is so relaxed. And then we went into like these pushing contractions. And I would say that's the part. I don't want to use the word scary, because I don't like those words, but it's almost like it's intimidating, because your body is just doing its own. It's like a machine, and it's like wrapped around, and it's like pushing the baby out, and it's so intense. But you also know that this is it. This is the end, and all you have to do is like do a good push when it comes, and the baby comes out. And I say do a good push, but I kind of need to backtrack that I was seeing a chiropractor about. I like to see them in my 3rd trimester. Definitely the last month consistently. If you can do the whole last trimester, and then doing things to get the baby in the perfect position. Our body, like the idea when you go to the chiropractor is they adjust your body, and then the baby will fall into the right spot where they're supposed to be. And if the baby is in the correct spot, that third stage is easy peasy. I mean, I say easy peasy, but easy peasy compared to what it would be if the baby is posterior or if the baby is in a different position. Because posterior is really, really, really tough. And I had posterior with my last birth, and I was like, did not want to do that again. So anyway, I knew that I had done so much for him, so I was pretty confident he was in a great position. And I just, we just started pushing with those contractions, and you're in such a zone of like concentration at the time. And I had to break the concentration to call my husband to tell him like, come here or you're going to miss it. And that is when I had shooting pain, like really bad, because I just broke the concentration. And so, you know, he came, and you always have this very moment, always at the end. It's like almost involuntary, because it's so intense and so extreme and so like overwhelming, that I'll always say in that very last moment, I can't. But I know I don't mean it. I'm almost saying it like, I know when I say I can't, that I'm done. Like I really, like the baby's coming. So I pushed him out. His little head came, and then my midwife is really, truly incredible, and she caught really quick that his shoulder, I bet I was in a lying, leaning position like this on my birthing tub like this. And my midwife caught, even in the dark room, that she wanted to adjust his shoulders coming out. And so she had me stand up, and she's like, I'm going to have you get out of the tub now. And I remember thinking, I don't want, don't make me get out of my tub. And so I said, I don't want to. And she said, well, yes, you do. And I said, okay. And we stood up. She adjusted his shoulder, had me sit back on the couch. I remember being afraid to sit on his head. I still don't even know how it works. That's why I'm always like, I wish we had filmed it. And then he kind of just slid out. And it was funny. I asked Danny, and he was born at 9:15. So I asked Danny, my midwife, like, what part is the most amazing when they're born? And she's like, for her, it's the moment where the mom is like right out. You're so intense, like in that moment right before they're born, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they're born, you're literally like snap back into reality, and it's like you're just, oh, hi everybody, oh, isn't he cute, oh, doesn't he look like Andrea, and da 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 da, and you're like totally not who you were a minute ago. So it is amazing how that natural, just this like very animal, very natural things come into place, and we're all so capable of this. And it's funny, I have this drink called Axio that I love. It's a nootropic energy drink, and I'm going to actually send out samples of that next week because it's incredible. But I didn't need that for the first 2 days afterwards because I was on such a high. You're on such a high after giving birth. You have so much energy, so it's almost hard to stay in bed. You feel like powerful, and like you can mother and raise your child and like fight the cartel or whatever you need to do these days. So anyway, it was really, really, it was just awesome. But I know it all has to do with prayers too. I'm so convicted we're mind, body, soul. We have to we can't just pray. We have to also feed our bodies well. We have to also feed our minds well. And, we're so multifaceted. We have to take care of all three aspects to really be whole in mind, body, and soul. And prayers are just so, I'm actually red from thinking about it. Really red. Thinking about the prayers, thinking about the birth. Actually, I just had my drink too, so that's probably why I'm flushing. But just wanted to say thank you guys. It was really, really incredible. And then I'm really into numbers now, like numerology and studying what this means. And some people have so much information on this. And I was reminded, of course, one of the books of the Bible is Numbers, and how I just see God's perfect design and his little creativity and artistry, on the days he decides our babies are born. And our babies always have really cool birthdays. Again, the girls are 7, 7, 17, 1, 6, 16, 9, 19, 19. And our little boy here is, Bodhi is our 7th child, and he is born on the 7th month the seventh day. And then we got 777 makes 21, the year he's born. And it's just incredible. So it's funny, I had people private message me about what the numbers meant for him. And I found it all fascinating. Some people get afraid of that. They do. They get afraid of things like oils and even some crystals and things like that. But I don't know as much about crystals. I was just talking to someone about it. But to me, there are a lot of these natural things that we find on Earth. And I think God made everything for a reason and a purpose. And they have a healing mechanism to them. And they're made for us. And they're made to serve us. And things we can use. And I think the interesting thing is a lot of people who are afraid of that won't mind popping Tylenol or won't mind running to, the pharmacy to get things. And so, yeah, that's just a little side note. But just another thing I want to say is I really want to recommend like activating your healing pathways. If you're going through a pregnancy, not going through a pregnancy, preparing your body for a pregnancy, activate your body's pathways. I think it's incredible. The only day I felt down was day 3, which is typical. And day 3 was the day that we chose to take Bodhi to get baptized. And day 3 is like you're still bleeding, your breast milk is coming in, you feel engorged, you're leaking everywhere, and you're a hormonal cocktail mess. And so I would say it was pretty low key, but I can see like things that made me blissful the day before. Even watching my 1-year-old like run around being crazy. I just thought it was so endearing. And on day 3, you're like, this is getting on my nerves. I could just see that like and feel like that things were irritating me that wouldn't normally irritate me. So that's typical of day 3. But it was very mild, I would say. And just something that I was noticing, or just being like, okay, be extra patient because these things are getting on your nerves. And it was the day we decided to like go out, which I wouldn't recommend going out on the 3rd day at all, or 3rd, 4th day. But no, I just feel incredible right now. I feel really good, really healthy, just very thankful. We're actually going to go to the kids' swim meet in just a few minutes now. It's my husband's back to work. And so it'll be me with the 7 kids alone. So we're going to see how that goes. Oh my gosh. And yeah, I'm just feeling totally blessed. But there's so much power in healing your body. Some people say, oh, you're lucky that you can carry a pregnancy like this. I think things like blood pressure, like all the things that are, pregnancy, diabetes, things like that, they don't have to be a thing if you are, if your body's well prepared, right? So we don't have to deal with that. And of course, I'm age maternal, whatever that is now, because I've crossed over. I don't know if it's 36 or if it's 38 now, but I'm 39, so I'm definitely over that period. But this has just been an incredible pregnancy, like just absolutely incredible. So we feel so blessed. And then now we have our new adventures. We'll be going in an RV very soon. My husband only has like 40 days of work left, which I'm really excited about. Nicole's saying, would you have 8 babies? It's so funny. In a way, some people say it's a blessing and a curse, but I'm not a planner. I don't plan. Even like with our RV trip, I'm like, we'll kind of just head south first. I'm not a planner. And actually, it's funny, when it comes to children, I wouldn't feel comfortable planning because it's such a big thing to say, like, will we have another human being come into the world, and another arrow for God, and God is so generous with us, and that I would never say no. Like, so we're just, but I also don't say like, oh yes, we'll have the 8th child in 2 years, like we have it all planned out. We just literally, we're just like, we have 7 kids, and then we just continue living our life. And then if we have an 8th baby, that could come next year, could come in 3 years, we don't know. But definitely we're open to it. And also, like, when we have a new child like this, I'll just turn it around for a sec. It's so, it's a miracle. And then we're just so excited for him. He's 22.5 inches long. My phone is funny right now. So he's really long. He's got huge hands and feet. I wonder what God is gonna plan for him. he's just a little miracle. You can see how small he is, like with my hand there, but he's amazing. And so yeah, I would never say like no more. I can never say that. I can never say that. So yeah, we're open to more. He is perfect. He's a blessing. Nicole, I'm praying for you that happens for you soon, and everyone who wants a baby, I pray that's what God pleases for you. I believe he does, but I also think we have to release control. We just have to do the right things for our body, release control, and surrender to him, and he never lets us down. So I hope, just wanted to share that with you guys, and hope that didn't go on too long. Jewish gematria. Okay, so yeah, numbers, gematria, Nicole, I got to look into all those things. To me, it's like more and more and more and more and more layers to God, like, and to how completely complex and completely incomprehensible he is, and how his footprint is everywhere and in everything. And that's why, again, like, I don't shy away from things like crystals, because I feel like that is another layer of something that God has created, and there must be good and wonderful things in it. And definitely, and then actually another thing I just want to finish up before the birth, I rested 2 days. My amazing husband took like the best care of me. He had amazing food. He's a chef. Really amazing husband. And took care of all the kids and everything. And I literally just stayed in bed just because I knew I needed to rest my body. Day 3, I got up. Let me see. Saturday, yeah. So Saturday I did a little bit of work. He did have to work on Saturday, which would have been like the second, third day after I had Bodhi. And I did probably too much. And then I had cramping at nighttime. But it wasn't so bad that I needed Advil or anything. It just was a reminder to me that I need to take it easy again. So when we take medicines, again, they're covering up what our body is telling us is a warning sign. Like my body was saying, you did too much today. You felt good, and then your husband was gone, and I started to do some things, and cleaning and doing just things with the kids. And then my body was aching at night because of that. And so I just rested again the next day, and I never needed, you guys, a Tylenol, Advil, any kind of painkillers whatsoever in this recovery. And that's with the 7th baby. Like, the contractions are usually stronger. I haven't had any intense pain, any pain with the breastfeeding. The breastfeeding's gone well. So just really blessed. But again, like, it's the miracle body. If we take care of the body, I think you'll be surprised what we can do. Now, some people aren't as fortunate as me, I think, in that I've never had poisons put into my body. So I am one of the rare people out there who has not been vaccinated at all. So I think by the time my parents' 4th child, and by the time I came, they kind of looked into vaccines, and then they didn't do it anymore. So I've never been vaccinated. I don't have any poisons in my body. Of course, I'm exposed to toxins on the daily, just because we all live in a toxic planet. And no matter what we're eating, like, there's going to be traces of glyphosate even in our organic foods, even in our clean foods. There's going to be herbicides, pesticides everywhere, fuel emissions, 5G. So because of that, we need to just be proactive in our health. And that's why I recommend those activating your pathways, like, absolutely. And then if you're looking to conceive, activate your pathways, especially like NRF2, NRF2, and the NAD. Like, you're really going to want to activate those pathways. Let me just see. That's it, guys. That went on long. It was probably longer than I wanted. We're going to run to swimming now. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening. And I just really love and appreciate y'all. And just want to really say one more time, thank you so much for the prayers and all the love you sent to our family. I can't even keep up with all the messages on Facebook. We're just really touched, and just feeling so very blessed with all of you, and then this, like, perfect little child. So this is a little warrior, and I will talk another live maybe in a couple days about his name and why we chose it, because it's very unusual. Bodhi Athanasius. So I'll share that with you guys. All right, love you. Thank you for watching.